Hey guys, AC Trader here, once again breaking down our trading day. Looking at the overall market when we first sat down, we figured it was going to be a slower day. We see the S&P 500 below the 200 moving average. We're looking at our top gainer scanners and we do not see that much going on our top gainer scanners. We do have ICCT up. It was moving a little bit earlier in the morning. However, it being a penny stock, it's kind of hard for us to trade it with my trading style. So in the morning, I sat back and I relaxed, and I honestly didn't think I was gonna be able to take any trades today. We didn't see anything really moving first thing in the morning. ICCT did look good. We'll look at it that way we can see what was going on. This is the daily chart. Now, we did have a gap right here that I was hoping that we could potentially get to. It looks like we're starting to fill now. So once we broke the 82 cents, it looked like it started to be able to move, which it looks like it's probably doing right now. Yep. So this is the move I was kind of looking at all day. Early in the morning, we did have this nice little rally up at about 7 in the morning. However, it just wasn't a stock that I was overall interested in. Like I said, it being a smaller penny stock, just not something that I'm used to trading and not something that is typically on my things I like to do, unfortunately. So following my rules, I stepped back and I did not do it, even though I did, like I was saying, I did see that gap at 82 cents, and now it's of course shooting up above that. Not the end of the world. Side of precaution, like I was saying, over the last few days we've had these pops and drops. Didn't want to be a part of those. We didn't have any news on ICCT, and I wasn't sure if this was actually going to be able to move or not. So ICCT, we stepped back on it, unfortunately. Well, right now we would have gotten our really realistically our first trade on it, which would have been great, but no harm, no foul, right? So after ICCT made that rally, we actually had a little bit slower of a morning, which we knew was going to happen. We did have a couple of things popping and dropping right away. Didn't really see anything. However, we did have MLGO. We'll trust the MLGO did start making some moves around the open at 9:30, which we have seen as a trend. If we go to sorry, we won't do daily. We'll do the hourly. Go to the hourly chart. We did start seeing moves around 9 o'clock, 9:30 every morning for the last few mornings. So that's good. Seeing that and having some nice momentum moving us up in the morning. Right here, we started picking up some steam, and then once we broke this high level right here of 2050 breaking out, we took that trade going up to the upside. I got one trade on this today, and that was it. Unfortunately, I wasn't sure how extended it was going to be. I did see that we did have some ascending resistance here way up, and we could connect it. We'll do that real fast. However, with it being a slower day and having MLGO moving up again, I wasn't sure how high it was going to go, and really didn't want to risk it, unfortunately. And now we did end up hitting up that ascending resistance line. So I absolutely could have stayed into that trade and moved forward. However, I was worried that we were going to hit this high day from yesterday and hold off. Once we started making that rally, I could have taken that. Absolutely, 110% could have. But with this high volume selling candle, this topping tail right here, just not something that I was comfortable taking on a market like this. Even though we did have all this room to the upside, it was a 100% personal choice on this one. I did miss a big move, but knowing how the market's been and knowing exactly what I have fallen traps to before, I didn't want to take that risk, take that chance. I saw this little nice move that we can take here, got our move, and then I absolutely could have done it to the upside there, but one, my attention was dispersed after this, and then two, once we started getting that move upwards, I didn't want to get in late and then it immediately drop on me. Sliding of the air of caution, I think was the best choice here, even though hindsight, it worked out. It would have worked out. Not something I wanted to get into or try. And now we're kind of like pulling back a little bit. Not the end of the world. And the only other stock we were looking at was Blue. I know that was one of the stocks that we had on our charts last night. And the reason being, let's look at it. We had potential news and we had this gap that it could fill as well. And that's actually what we ended up doing is once we saw this move here and then we started to get this rally, we ended up taking that break over 475 and running up. And once we got 475 and we got out right at that $5 mark, or it was like 496 ended up being. So great, wonderful trade. But this is why we do our due diligence. Yesterday we saw that BLUE potentially move. And once we got over that 475 mark is actually when we ended up taking that trade, which is right. Oh, actually a little late right here. Got it in, and then right on up. So that one ended up working. So actually only took 2 trades today, which is perfectly fine. I'm a-okay with that. I ended slower, even though as I was talking, getting this going, ICCT was moving. Like I said, those things happen. It's not the end of the world. It definitely could have stayed in and continued to look at these trades, but I'm not going to overstay my welcome in a market where right now, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And once again, ICCT still moving, going up. Broke that point and shooting up. But hey, it's all good. Like I said, it's a penny stock, not something that I normally trade or would trade. But these are the things that we look at and we learn from, and it's not the end of the world. And like I said, I'd rather miss this move and then get into a move that will potentially have me go to the downside just because I feel like I need to hop into something because I see ICCT moving now. No, my day trading is done. I'll keep an eye out on it. If we have some breaking news somewhere else, maybe I'll hop into a trade, but as of right this second, I'm not going to overstay my welcome. I know where the market's at. I feel happy with what I did today. I got what I thought were one really clean trade on MLGO, and then the other on BLUE was okay. But if I wasn't doing the video right now, I think the best trade I could have done it was right here up over the 82-cent mark once we broke that, and as well as we were just talking right here when we got over that $1 market again. Not the end of the world. However, guys, these are the things that happen. If you're not looking closely at it all the time, you're going to miss those moves, and you can't freak out when you miss those moves. You don't want to have the fear of missing out. There's no need for that. Take a step back, be patient, look at what you like, see what you like, only trade what you know is correct, right? My plan doesn't always work out for ICCT. However, even though as I was talking, I said once it goes over 82, it goes up. It's all good. It's not the end of the world. However, this is why we trade our plans, though. We don't want to end with a red day on a slow market day. So, anyway, guys, that's really it. Not much going on today in today's overall market. Not much going on today with how I trade. I took my 2 quick wins, got in, I got out. Didn't want to overstay my welcome. And that's it for today, guys. All right. Well, we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. You guys have a great day. Please like and subscribe.